my depiction of right person, wrong time is that it's not the right person for you. It could have been an individual who you needed at that time, but if they left or if you left, not the right person for you, because that means you either outgrew each other or you saw something that you knew it's just something you can't have in your life or in the person that you want to be forever in. And so that statement of right person, wrong time, those stories, either the stories you read in the books or the stories you hear from people of right person, wrong time, either that person knew they couldn't live up to the standards that that person had for them, or they knew that person couldn't live up to their standards, or they just realized they may have liked that individual for what they thought they could be in their fantasies. Like they see this individuals and they started creating stories and storylines of what it could have potentially be, but then they realized that could never happen with that individual. So when people say right person, wrong time, it usually means that that person was so close, or they were so close to what they thought is the individual they needed, the individual they could have their happily forever with. But if that was the case, you wouldn't walk away from that. You would do your best to either better yourself, or you would help the person, that individual, the quote-unquote right person, you will help them be the best self, their best self that they could possibly be. You wouldn't just walk away from it if it's difficult or if it seems like something isn't quite right. No. If the person you truly love, the person you state you can't live without is going through a rough patch, then you're not just going to leave them. No, you're going to stick with them. Even if they don't like that they're sticking with you, even if they may hate you in the moment that you're trying to help them, trying to get them to do the things that they should be doing, if you stay and they don't walk away, then that's how you know it's true love, because they won't just walk away, even though they may hate it, they may dislike it in the moment, they may even be mad at you, but at the end of the day, if they don't walk away, in like a few months, when they become that better version of themselves, or maybe it's you and it's vice versa, you or them, or both of you, are going to realize you two are the end game. Because even though the last few months was difficult, you two stick together and made sure that either you or the other person was getting to the best versions of themselves, or to the version that they needed to be in order to basically fight off this thing that they were dealing with, or that you're dealing with. If it's truly the person that you love and that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you're not just going to walk away. So no, I don't think it's right person, wrong time. I think it's that person was someone that at one point you thought could be your end game, the person you could go throughout your whole life with and it would be fine. But then you saw something and you realize they're not. They just can't be, or they were better than you thought, and you think you can't be with them. You think there's someone else better for them, so therefore you let them go. But if you truly love them and you think that there's someone better for them, well, then you would in a way perfect yourself. Perfect's not the best way, but you would become the best version that you could be, and then see how the other person would react, and see, would you even want to be with yourself, or I don't even know where I'm getting at that point. But there's no right person, wrong time, because each person that comes into your life is always going to teach you a lesson, whether they stay or leave. And most of the time they're going to leave. So you may think that person was right, but if they left or if you left, well, then there's a reason for that. And it was either to perfect yourself and you think you just couldn't do that with them, or they think they couldn't do that with you. Well, then that means they were lacking trust in you, or you were lacking trust in them for the fact that you couldn't go through that process with them. Because if you really love someone, you would be like, hey, I need to better perfect myself. Or you may say to them, if it's them in the situation, not you, can we try, I noticed something about you and I kind of sense that you don't like it either, so can we try to make a better version of yourself? And right now I don't have an example. Say the person wants to exercise but they don't know where to start or anything, and all they think in their head is that they can't. Well, then you be like, hey, I know you really want to get an exercise but you don't know where to start. How about I help that with you? And no matter how much you get angry at me, that's fine, because you're not really angry at me, you're angry at the situation, you're angry at the progress, and I can deal with that. Because I know at the end you would be happy, and all I want is for you to be happy and to love yourself. So what we're gonna do is that first I'm gonna deal with all your meals. I'm gonna say what you should and should not eat in order to be able to do the amount of exercise that you are looking to do, in order to get into the body shape that you want, in order to have the muscle mass that you want. And then I'm also going to bring you into the gym or suggest workouts for you to do on a daily basis, whether I'm with you or not, but I am going to hold you accountable for it. And if you don't do it, yeah, I will. It will seem that I'm angry at you, but really I'm not going to be angry at you. I'm gonna, what's the correct phrasing of this? I'm just gonna hold you accountable for it, that's all. And I understand that's gonna frustrate you, but that's okay, because I know it's just a process. And once we both get into the gear of doing this, yes, there's going to be days, even in the middle of it, when you're really into exercising, and there's going to be days that you're not going to want to do it, but that's okay, because I'm going to make sure you're going to do it, unless for like a good reason you just can't. Because I understand how important that goal is for you, and I know that you just need someone to hold you accountable in order to do that. You just need someone to really push you, and then you'll do it. Because I noticed something about you. If someone tells you you need to do something, you will do it. Because right now you've been trying to do it on your own and it's just not working, so let me help you. Let me take some of the weight off of your shoulders, so you don't have to think about what you have to eat, what type of exercises you have to do. I'll just give you a list, and you can tell me if you like them or not, and then I'll adjust it accordingly. That's okay. Just let me take some of the weight off of your shoulders. If the person is truly the individual that you want to be with the rest of your life, you're not just going to give up on them, and you're not just going to give up on yourself. You are going to work towards having a great relationship, even if it's during the struggles or during the great times. But it's during the struggles is when you know if that person wants to be with you or not. If they walk away during hard times and never come back, you don't need that person. If you walk away and never come back, that person doesn't need you. It's when you're both going through a situation together, that's what brings you closer together, because each problem is not going to be easy. It's not going to have the same solution as every other thing. So if you go through enough enough situations of where there's a problem and then you both have to decide what to do, well, then you're looking at the problem and you're working together of how to solve it. You're not thinking of each other as the problem, because that's not the situation. Say for that exercise situation, is the problem was that exercise was lacking in one individual's life, and that individual wanted to get into it but they didn't understand how. Well, then you provide a solution, provide a tactic to the solution to increase the exercise in the person's life to where it's not causing them a lot of stress and overthinking and anxiety of what to do, how long to do it for, and how much to repeat it, and as well as what to eat, how to eat, how much to eat, what time to eat, when to exercise, what time, what's overdoing and what's not, when's it okay to take a break, and all this jazz. Hopefully I formatted my thoughts correctly in this video, and if it is the right person, there isn't gonna be a wrong time. And I just got a message, so that's telling me that I think that this video is done. And if you did enjoy this, please subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.